Have you ever thought to yourself, when is it actually going to happen for me? Let's talk about it next on the Given a Purpose podcast. Welcome to the Given a Purpose podcast, where we bridge the highs, the lows, the lessons learned through life's journey and filling in the gap. You already know what it is. New week, new fresh episode. So listen, I need you guys to do me a favor first. And hit that subscribe button. Share this with somebody. Let somebody know that you're getting good stuff here on the Given a Purpose podcast. I'm your host, Mr. LA, as always. And I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate new followers. I appreciate all the likes. But listen, we got goals. We want to do some things. All right. So you ever been in a mood where you're just like, when is it really going to happen for me? We have that all the time. I know. Listen, I'm telling you from personal experience. I'm always saying, when is it going to happen for me? Right? I'm doing the work. I've been showing up, but it feels like nothing is changing. If that's for you, we're going to talk about it today. Because the truth is, we get too caught up in the timeline, or we get caught up in the win for our win. So we get caught up in the WHEN for our WIN, if that makes sense. And so we have to understand that sometimes with the culture right now, we are in a place where we want instant results. We want everything microwavable. All right. We want everything done 2 to 3 minutes. You know how they do things on certain platforms. We got to get somebody's attention in like the first 6 to 7 seconds, or we want these automatic results to take place. And let me tell you, it don't work like that all the time. And we have to stay focused on the why and not the when. We have to know that success is a marathon, not a sprint. It is a marathon, not a sprint. And the win may be uncertain, but it anchors why you're doing it. That's why it's strong to have a great why. Because when you have a great why, it helps you not think about when it's going to happen. And you can then now focus on the process. You have to fall in love with the process, because when you fall in love with the process, you'll actually be prepared for the win. So another thing that we have to do is we have to be patient. You guys know I love to talk about being patient and being consistent. Those are your power tools. So when you stay focused on being patient and you're being consistent and you focus on that, that creates your momentum. And you realize that certain distractions deter you from, or it may put a pause on your destiny or where you're trying to go on the WIN. So you don't necessarily always have to see the finish line, all right, and know that you're on the right track. So one of the things that I always fall into something about is I like to have everything lined up before I get started. I'm that type of person sometimes. And sometimes I don't get to where I need to go in my goals because I'm already like, I have to have everything lined up. That's my first step. And then I get caught up. All right, once I start doing it, when is this going to click? Like, this whole thing is a process. Me doing this podcast, right? I've been doing it for almost 5 years now. Took a little hiatus for a little bit, but sometimes you're thinking like, all right, well, when am I going to get all of this fame. I don't even want to get hooked up on fame and fortune because I'm really trying to help people. And I really want to make sure that the people that are listening are getting the jewels and getting poured back into. But there is a business side to it. There is a excitement that you want about it. No, yeah, sometimes I want the likes. Yeah, sometimes I want the shares. Yes, I want the followers. But I just want to make sure I'm reaching more of the people because I know what I am doing is a part of my purpose. And when I'm sharing stuff and I'm doing stuff that's a part of my purpose, I know where I get my information from, my life experience and doing things like that. I know people are going through the same thing and they may need what I am saying. So that's where more of my frustration, but I'm trying to make a point. And sometimes it's tough. You're like, well, when is it going to happen? You know what I'm saying? You see all these videos. All it takes is one. It's like, well, where's my one? But I also know that I got to fall in love with the process, and the process tells me I can't focus on the WHEN. I'm just focusing on winning because I'm a winner. That's the confidence and that's the approach and the mindset that I take, that I am a winner. I have to do the process and do the things that require me to win. Now, when I actually win, WIN, I don't know. I can't focus on that because my why has to be deeper and stronger, which will create my endurance. A strong why gives you clarity during confusion because there's a lot of confusion when you're trying to get to your goal. And sometimes you don't know, you lose focus of your why. You started with a why, and sometimes you want to change your why, and sometimes you get discouraged and things start to get confusing. But we know God is not a God of confusion. So you have to stay the course. All right. But so some of the things we got to do in between in that process, right? You have to revisit regularly why you're doing this. All right. Instead of focusing on the win, WHEN, you have to sometimes go back and revisit why are we doing this? That's why we talk about journaling. That's why we talk about affirmations. That's why we have vision boards and different things like that. You have to go back and revisit why are we doing this? All right. One thing that I definitely do that I love that helps me with my confidence and my progress. Listen, I celebrate small wins. WIN. I celebrate small wins. And so I just stack my wins. So when I come out and say I'm a winner, right, and not focusing on the win, is because I celebrate the small wins and I just stack my wins. So when I stack the small wins, I realize that I am making progress, and that builds my confidence to do more and to stay the course and to stay focused. And that helps me then build the mindset that I'm actually closer than I think. And sometimes when I get to that point where I want to break down, where I want to quit, I got to remind myself I'm actually closer than progress is invisible before it becomes undeniable. I'm going to say that again. Progress is invisible before it becomes undeniable. All right. You got to stay in motion. Every small step matters. Every small step matters. Don't let anybody deter you thinking that these small wins don't count, thinking these small steps don't count. Small, steady steps will still get you the distance that you want. Because sometimes if you can't keep the pace, if you're looking around, comparing yourself to what other people are doing, you'll actually tire yourself out. Take small steps. Small steps will get you to those big distances, right? So you just have to remember that we have to stay on course and stay the route and not focus on the win. So let's revisit on the jewels that we dropped today, right? That's going to get us to our purpose. We have to revisit our why daily. All right. Go back to the beginning. Why are we doing this? What gave me, because when we start something out, we really have this burst of energy. We have this refreshness. Sometimes you got to go back and say, why am I doing this? Oh, that's why. Boom. Now I'm focused. Celebrate the small little wins, right? Little wins, little steps get us to the WIN win, right? This is my favorite thing. Create the routines, right? Not just the goals. Create positive routines. Get yourself in alignment. I'm telling you that these processes, these routines are going to make sure that you build your confidence. Because once you do it, it's like, oh, I've done it before. Oh, I've done this before. So then now you're in a mindset of winning, something that we talk about all the time. All right, that is essential to your progress. Surround yourself with people who remind you who you are. Surround yourself with good people. There's a couple of ways. You surround yourself with people that are doing the same things, that may be smarter than you, that may have information about what you want to do, so that you can take the information and then you can make a better decision. So surround yourself with a group of people, a circle that's going to get you to the win that you need to do. Man, that's awesome in every single way, and I love it. So make sure you guys stay focused. Make sure you guys stay encouraged. Small wins will get you to your big win. Stop worrying about the win. Focus on the why. So you guys do the most important thing I need you guys to do all the time. Listen, make sure that you live on purpose and make sure you live in purpose. I will see you guys next week. Peace.